If you can get these few things right, you'll see results, feel confident in the gym, and reach your goals a lot quicker. When I first started working out, this is what I looked like. I was 17 and I had no idea what to do in the gym. I didn't think about what the cool thing to wear was, and I was super nervous about interacting with anyone in the new gym environment I was in. I would see people in the gym using free weights like pros and transforming their body week after week, and there I was feeling stupid, out of place, and honestly discouraged by my lack of progress. Had it not been for a few really nice people that I met in the gym and my huge dissatisfaction with the way I looked, I probably would have given up, but I didn't. And because of that, I'm able to give you fellow beginners a few pieces of advice that I wish I had 10 years ago. Mistake number one that a lot of beginners make is not scheduling out their workouts in advance. A lot of times we leave our gym times up to chance. Maybe if we get off work early, we're gonna hit the gym, or if we have a little time before work, maybe we'll go. But a lot of times that leads to us either sleeping in or deciding not to go because something better comes up after work. The best thing to do to set yourself up for success would be to look at your schedule about a week in advance and schedule in your gym times around your work and around events that you have going on. I would also take into account what you have planned for your workout and how busy the gym might be at that time. If you know that you're going to want to use a squat rack or cable machine, it's probably best to go at a time when the gym is less busy if you're able to. This way you'll know that you'll feel comfortable in your space and you will not feel rushed. Mistake number two, and this is a big one, but beginners tend to never do the same workout more than once. I would recommend planning out your workouts probably for the next 4 to 8 weeks and making sure that you track all of your progress. So all the reps that you do, the amount of weight that you do, and how hard the workout actually felt on its own. Not only will you be excited by seeing your weights or your reps increase, but you'll also be extremely motivated and be better able to spot what exercises or movement patterns give you the best results, cause discomfort, or just simply aren't your favorite. If you're listening to this right now and you're like, I have absolutely no idea where to start with this, I did create a free 6-week beginner program, and I pinned the link for that in the comments below. So if you need a little bit of guidance or help starting out on this journey, I got your back, and you guys could check that out below. The third biggest mistake that beginners make is focusing too much on rep ranges instead of the amount of effort or intensity that you're giving. Many beginners and even intermediates focus too much on hitting a certain amount of reps or a certain number, which could stunt your gains, especially if you had more to give and you only stopped because you hit that specific rep goal. There are 2 ways to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. Number 1, you can still use rep goals, but you're gonna wanna choose a weight that is really hard to finish the last 5 or so reps of. Getting to 15 should feel really challenging, and if it doesn't, you could just bump your weight up as long as your form isn't compromised. And if it is, then you know maybe the weight that you were at was the one you should stay at for now. Number 2, you can ignore rep ranges and instead choose a weight that is very challenging for you to accomplish about 10 reps of, and then take that set until you're about 1 to 2 reps away from failure, or being able to do the exercise with good form for another 1 to 2 reps. With this method, you're focusing less on how many reps you could do and more on your all-out effort. Mistake number 4. Now, I'm not saying that you have to focus on your wardrobe at all unless that makes you feel happier and better, but I am suggesting that you find yourself a pair of shoes that actually support the type of workout that you're going to be doing. For example, a flat shoe or one that has a wedge in the heel is ideal for weightlifting. No, not that much of a wedge, but something more like this or like this would be best. Then we have the opposite end of the spectrum for a running shoe that has a ton of cushioning under the heel and the ball of the foot. Finding the proper shoe is just one way to avoid injuries like ankle sprains or even shin splints. The 5th biggest mistake that beginners make is only sticking to one type of workout. That could look like doing only cardio, only free weights, or maybe only resistance training in general. When it comes to strength training, machines can provide resistance in places where free weights don't, but free weights do have that functional component because they aren't fixed into place and usually allow for a larger range of motion and will teach you the basic fundamental movement patterns that could basically be transferred over to any machine that you use or really any other exercise. Cardio is also super important when it comes to our fitness and shouldn't be overlooked nor deemed superior when it comes to our health, well-being, and our aesthetic. The 6th biggest mistake that beginners make is not understanding or learning what progressive overload is and how to use it in their own programming. Progressive overload in the simplest of terms means that you are increasing the intensity of your workouts over time. The 2 most common ways to do this are increasing the amount of reps that you could do at a specific weight over time, or vice versa, having a specific rep range and then increasing the amount of weight that you use over time. There are a ton of ways to progress in your workouts, but I'm gonna name 3 of my favorite right now. Number 1 is to decrease the amount of rest you take in between your sets. Number 2, and I feel like this way is underrated so much, but it's to increase your range of motion. Number 3 is slowing down your movements or adding in pauses like I'm doing with my squat right here. So on the way down, I'm thinking about lowering maybe 4 seconds, pausing for 1 second at the bottom, and then coming out of my squat nice and quick. If you try this, you'll find that it increases the intensity a lot, and it might even make some of your movements a lot stronger. The 7th biggest mistake that beginners make is that they try to change too many aspects of their diet all at once. When it comes to your diet, grab the lowest hanging fruit first and then work up from there. This could literally mean just cutting out sugary beverages from your diet for the first few weeks to a few months. And then once you get really good at that, I would then go on to look at another aspect of your diet that you think that you could improve. One change can go a long way, but it's the compounding effect of all the little habits that you break and reform that will really make the biggest difference. The 8th biggest mistake that beginners make is not asking for help. This was truly one of the hardest things for me to do when I first started in the gym. Most of the people that went to the gym where I first started were middle-aged men or people in their 20s and 30s that I deemed to be way too cool and mature to even want to bother talking to me. I felt like if I asked them questions that I would be bothering them and I'd be looked at as really annoying. It wasn't until some of those people started talking to me and giving me helpful suggestions that I realized that everyone at the gym is genuinely kind and has the same goals and insecurities that I did then and still have now. People truly love helping other people, so don't be afraid to ask for some. There's one more thing I'd like to leave you guys with, and it is the quote that we often overestimate what we could do in a day, but underestimate what we could accomplish in 1 year. On any given day, you might feel discouraged or like you're not doing enough, because I know I have felt that exact same way. But I do hope that you guys take the time to look back and see how much progress you've made, and also feel hopeful about how much time you have left to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. With that being said, I hope that this video gives you a little bit more confidence and knowledge as you move forward. Good luck, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.